In this movie we'll show you how we can create an extruded surface. So the shape that I'll use can be a DXF file that we've imported. So if I import that, it's in millimeters. Okay, so that's the shape, fairly simple. So we need to set the date and position, and we need to create a profile. A profile is something which happens in the Z-axis. A contour is something which is machined in the XY plane. So that's the shape start point, and that's the end point, and it tells me that shape has been created. So if I now save that away under a different name and then take that through into machining and just check on my tool change position, so we can see the shape there. So what we need to do is to define a tool. So we'll have, say, a ball nose tool, set the diameter, set the length, and set the cut depth. And then we do an M6 to set the spindle speed and the feed rate. So the option we want is Z profile. So there is only one profile for it to machine. So if we look under slot first of all, this would machine just a single slot. But one of the options under here is the vector tolerance. A very small value here will give you a very fine tool path with lots of straight line segments. A larger value will give you a coarser tool path. This option here, reverse direction when syncing in Z, can be applied or not. So in its simplest format, that just produces the Z profile. Okay, but we now need to sort out the position of it. So the start point was 50 in X, which I can measure off from the drawing. Okay, so that's just machined that. So that's just a simple slot, but of course what we would want to do is turn this into a ruled surface, and then we do that by using the surface command within the Z profile. Okay, so if we go back to here, go to surface, we want to create a ruled surface, and we need to set the distance between the slots. So if I want that to be, say, 55 millimeters, I could set that to, say, 5.5, and I could have 10 of them, and then I can machine that in opposite directions. Okay, so that machines that out. That's looking at the front view. Looking at the ISO view, we can see where it is. Okay, so that's going to machine that in a single pass, but we might want to step down so that it's machining it differently. So if we go to ruled surface again, and then under the more options tab, we set a cut depth of, say, 2.5 millimeters, and uncheck that box. And then when we run that, what that does is it takes that in a series of 2.5 millimeter steps. So if we look at the front view of it, each one of those lines there represents the depth that we've cut. Obviously we can see the tool is being offset from that shape, and the graphic here you see is the center line of the offset tool path. So that's the end view of that, and we can see the tool cutting down, staying tangent to the surface. Okay, so that's how we create a ruled surface or an extruded surface.